Hello everybody. In today's video I'm going to show you an alternative to GW's textured line that they just put out. Basically their new line that they put out for textured is a sand-based medium that you can slap on to the base, and it'll basically do the gluing and adhering the sand, and then it comes in different range of colors. So here we're going to take this GW pot here, and I know it's on here somewhere. So the pot is 0.04 ounces or 11 milliliters. Now I went up to the hobby store today, and normally I buy the big round cases of Liquitex or Golden, whichever is cheapest, and they have textured gels or painting mediums. This one here is coarse textured gel, and if you can look here, you can see that in the picture. It shows it kind of grainy. Go to your local hobby store and you should be able to find this between either of the two companies, and they usually will have on the price ticker or on a little thing hanging up a sample, and you can rub your finger over it and look at it and make sure it's the kind of look that you want. Now this here, as you can see, is for use with acrylic paints, and it comes pretty much I think it dries clear. I haven't used this one yet. This one might dry clear or white. Okay, dries to a coarse sand-like finish. When dry, it can be painted with Liquitex acrylic colors or mixed with colors before application. So this cost me about $6, and I think this actually dries white, which is what the stuff in the plastic tub that I normally get dries. And you can add your color, just your regular acrylic color, or you can put a color over top. Now this is 200. Oops, let me get my fat finger with this pointing. Yeah, that's 200 milliliters, or 6.78 US fluid ounces. So 200 milliliters compared to GW's 12 milliliters. So that's almost, what, 20 times more. Yeah, it's less than 20 times. It's like, I don't know, I'm not going to try to do the math. Of these in here, this is $4 pretty much for the texture line. I mean, obviously the texture line is not this paint pot, but you know what I'm getting at. For $6, you're getting slightly less than 20 times the amount here. So the truth comes down to showing how it works, right? So I got this miniature here. Old Space Marine doesn't have his arms attached, but you know, you can always put the stuff on in primer. And I got a case here. Just pour it on. It comes out. Little nice cap. Helps keep everything nice and clean. Alright. I use these crappy brushes that are like tester ones, little plastic bristles. And if you look at it, it's kind of moist and it's coarsey. Hopefully you'll be able to see that when I figure out where to put it. I think too much shine is coming on, so I'll tilt it a little. That's probably good as I'm going to get. You should be able to tell it's kind of coarse. There. So, clops them up. Get the miniature onto the base. As you can see, this is kind of moist. So For the first bit, I'll just push it around, get it on there, get a thin coat on, because I can always grab more and plop a thicker amount somewhere else. Try to be careful not to get it onto his boot too much. So this here, right off the bat, should be the equivalent of the silver snow texture that you can get from their texture lines. Alright, so I got that there. Let's go a little bit more here. And just for a little bit of that. Plop. Just mix this down. And I probably took myself out of camera doing that, I'm sorry. So, there you go. I know, I'm just trying to do a quick job, wasn't being too careful. And I'll do a video, or I'll come back once this dries, and tell you how long it took to dry. I'll show you what the dried looks like for this. Alright, so that guy's done. So now what I'm going to do, this excess I have here, and this stuff washes off your brush with water. I wouldn't suggest using that water for your brushes when you go paint, because, you know, as you move your brush around to clean your brush, the sand might get in there, in the bristles. So I'm going to use that Bistro Brown. It's going to take a little bit. And then I'm going to just add it in there. Now this will lighten it up a little. If you don't need to thin down your coat paint, just put it in there the way it is, and you could use a foundation, or what is it now called, the baseline. So as you can see, I got this mixed in there thoroughly. It's a little bit brighter than it had been, but it'll still work. So close that pot, because they dry out enough as it is. Alright, so we're going to take this piece here. I'm just going to apply it deliberately on this base. And if you notice in the cards, I have a marker on this base where the feet were from where it was old. This is one of the old minis. But I'm still in the process of cleaning and doing them all up. Put a little there, put a little there. Let's get right a second. Take that, put it down. Grab said Space Marine over here. 1 second, guys. I put. Show what you're doing. Just putting some of this Testors plastic glue on this marine. This is another way you can do it. You can put your base material down first. So this way you kind of get backwards. This way you can get kind of a little bit more natural look. Because when you push his feet down, if there was any of the base material. Oops, there. I'll pick up on the feet, and the feet will push that to the side. And I gotta find it. There we go. On my side, I can add. Come on, camera, focus. I know I was moving around. See. Hopefully you can see that pushes the paint from underneath where his boots were, so it looks a little bit more natural, like whatever he's stepping in got out of the way of his boot mark. So we'll take a little bit more extra now. We'll cover up that little center place. And deposit extra amounts. Stuff on the base. Here. So it's not just flat. And we got some on the knee, which isn't a big deal. Should I do that real quick? Alright. So let's see if I can find the camera again. If you notice, I got some on the knee. Come on, Martin, find the camera. Alright. Take this with a wet brush and wipe it right off. And that will remove. As you can see, that will move the bit to go on there. Alright, I'll be back in just a second, and you'll be able to see what the dry bases look like. And you can already see that these bases are already starting to dry up. So when we come back, they'll be dry. Alright everybody, we're back. It's been about 3 hours, but I could actually start making this video about an hour and a half ago. That's about how long it takes to dry, especially on parts where it was a little bit thicker. As you can see, yeah, you can still see some of the base underneath, but it dries white and somewhat translucent. So had I added white pigment to it from a skull white paint, this would cover a lot better. Plus I went kind of thin here and there, just so you can see the texture. That find the right spot so you can see the texture that you get. Focus, camera, focus. The camera decided it wanted to focus on this. Now, you can also water this stuff down so it's not quite so thick and globby. They also sell other mediums, some with fabric in them, some with flakes. They got a lava type rock one that supposedly is pretty good to mix with this stuff. And you don't need to do anything to your bases other than just slap this stuff on them. This stuff will adhere to it. It's supposed to adhere to your canvas. It's kind of part of what they're all about, is to go onto a canvas so that when you paint over a texture to change the look of your painting, so it's not the same old static stuff. As you can see there with the brown, it covered pretty good with the paint in there, so for places where I went really light. And so I can't scrape it off. And a little bit thicker. You can scrape it off as well. So in retrospect, that little bit I squirted here, I actually did these 5 miniatures with it. So if you figure those 5 miniatures with your average GW pot, going as thin as I did, probably, I don't know, might consume a quarter of your pot. So let's say each one of these pots, you're going to get 6, oh, not 6, but let's say you get 12 Space Marine bases done with one pot of those at $4. At 20 times more, you're looking at, well, almost 20 times more, you're looking at almost 200 guys. So if you're doing an Orc army, a Tyranid army, you have a bunch of Space Marines, this is a much better way to go. Yeah, you gotta add a little bit of paint, but as you saw here, I barely put any paint there. I just basically just barely dabbed any paint onto those bristles and then just mixed it right in. So, you know, this is much cheaper and just as fast as the GW way of doing things, and you can get whatever color you want, so you're not stuck with their static colors. You can make pink, red, blue, purple, orange, sepia, whatever. With these, you can mix colors. You know, you're not limited to them, and these will, you know, they'll pick up the paint, they'll take a primer, you know, they'll take a wash, a glaze, and any of that stuff will work. If you wanted to, you could glue some rocks down in some random places and then do this step, or you could do it afterwards. And I think this stuff would actually help adhere the rock down, but I would still put a little bit of glue down for the rock. So let me know what you think. Please comment, subscribe, and like, and favorites if you favorite, if you like this. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Happy wargaming, everybody.